Welcome back to Mark Fisher Outdoors, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the secret to getting a nice smooth pitch flip when you're using braided line, whether you're pitching, flipping, punching baits. This is the time. Those mats are starting to form. We're going to be doing a lot of punching, a lot of pitching and flipping, maybe some frog fishing, things like that. How do you get your braided line to come off smoothly, fluidly, without getting a lot of wraps and bird's nests and things like that? Stick around, guys. We're going to talk about that as soon as we come back. Welcome back to Mark Fisher Outdoors, everybody. I'm Mark Fisher. We're down here in the tackle room. I'm getting ready to do some pitching, some flipping, and some punching. And one of the things that I have a hard time with is if I'm out there doing that repeatedly all day long, a lot of times what'll happen is I'll get into that situation where it won't come off the reel smoothly. My line won't come off the reel smoothly. Well, there's one secret to that I think is really important, that I think gets overlooked. And quite honestly, I think a lot of other things get blamed for it, and people don't even look at this issue. We're talking about spooling the braided line on in the first place. The way you spool braided line onto your bait caster is very important. And quite honestly, it's a little bit different than traditionally spooling line onto your bait caster. So we're going to talk about that today. Guys, before I get into that, for tips like this, we ask that you tune in to Mark Fisher Outdoors Daily and subscribe to the channel. If you hit that subscribe button, that little notification button will pop on and it lets you know that we've put another piece of content out, and we do that Monday through Friday. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, send us your comments. Hey, I got to tell you, as we're getting into fishing, we're getting a lot more comments. Please send us your comments about ideas that you'd like us to do a video on. We'd really appreciate that as well, but we certainly appreciate all of you guys hitting that subscribe button. All right, so let's get back to this. So what we're talking about is spooling that braided line on in the first place, and how to spool it so that you get a nice smooth cast, or in this case, nice short pitches, flips, or when you're punching baits, how to make that smooth so that you're not overextending, getting bird's nests, things like that. What we're talking about, guys, is braided line that is 20-pound test or more. You don't want to be using real thin braided line and doing what I'm talking about. That's going to create just the opposite problem. But if you're using 20-pound or more, which you probably should be when you're putting it on baitcaster, this is what I'm looking at. So I want you to come over here and look at my bait casting station, and I've got some 20-pound Power Pro, and I'm putting it on a bait caster, and I want to show you how I am putting that on. So as you can see, I've got my little Berkeley spooling center set up here, but the first thing that I'm doing is I'm making sure that my drag is tightened down real tight. And now all I'm going to do is just take a little rag. I'm going to put the tension on this line right here, and that's providing the tension to my spool. And as I spool, I'm spooling nice and easy, not real fast. I'm making sure that my guide is going back and forth. I'm not inhibiting the action as that roller goes back and forth. And I'm making sure that this braided line is tight. And that tightness, as I spool that line, is what's gonna make it come off nice and clean when I'm making my casts. And when I say casts, I'm talking about if I'm pitching, I'm flipping, I'm punching. And again, that's what I tend to do with my braided line on my bait casters. Granted, I throw braided line when I'm throwing frogs, things like that, maybe some other applications, but the bottom line is I'm doing this every time I'm spooling up braided line onto my bait casters. And you may be able to see that it's kind of bouncing around here, but the tension is being kept on by my thumb and finger right on the line. And you can see that that line is going on nice and smoothly, but real tight all the way. So there we go. I've got my reel. We're all spooled up with 20-pound braided line. And I'm ready to go out this weekend, do a little punching, which I'm looking forward to because some of those mats have really gotten up there, and this is a great time of year to be doing that. So guys, like I said, just that one tip of putting that tension on that braided line as you're spooling it will help that braid come off nice and easy throughout your fishing day. And again, remember, the biggest thing to remember is you're doing this with heavier pound test braided line. Do not do this with your lighter pound braided line. Anything under 20 pound, you don't want to be doing that. But as I said earlier, I can't think of a lot of reasons to be putting less than 20-pound braid onto bait casters in the first place. I hope this was helpful, guys. Stick around tomorrow. Like I said yesterday, we've got an Underwater Wednesday episode that we're back in the pool. It's been a while since we've been in the pool. Hope you're looking forward to that, and we will see you again tomorrow on Mark Fisher Outdoors. Take care, everybody.